The wild area is a vast landscape in the world of Pokemon that allows you the freedom to roam, catch pocket monsters, race your bike, interact with friends, participate in max raid battles, and more. But I'm here to talk about one secret that this wild area has been keeping from us, and I'm attempting to bring it to light today. This woman, Breeder Chloe, just who is she? Where did she come from? Most importantly, how does she have all three supposedly rare starter Pokemon? That's what we're going to find out today. Hey guys, Joe here. So I've put my fair share of hours into Pokemon. Owning both copies allowed me to fall in love with the Pokemon franchise all over again with the new games that came out for the 8th generation, those being Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Through all my hours in the Pokemon world, there was one thing, one person in particular that had me kind of boggled. That person is none other than this woman. Breeder Chloe has been on my mind since the first time I spoke to her under the tree in the rolling fields, had my first ever battle with her, and realized, wait, does she have all three starters? How is that possible? I became intrigued, so I started to dig. Right away I hit an information wall though. No one seemed too concerned with figuring out who this breeder was or where she came from, or how she came to own these three Pokemon. But oh no, not this guy. This guy was on a mission. So I kept digging. And came up empty-handed. But I wasn't going to let anything stop me, so I came up with a theory. It's kind of a long stretch, so just hear me out. Side note, I apologize in advance for no FaceTime. It's because I don't feel comfortable on camera just yet. My last video, I had a stutter and was stumbling on my words, and just not today, Satan. Now, let's dive back in. My theory is Chloe, the smiling, confident, and the richest Pokemon breeder ever, is none other than Galar's past champion. I know. Like I said, it's a long stretch, but there seems to be a tiny shred of evidence that backs this theory up. Teeny tiny little shred. Just a smidge. I started my investigation in the one place I thought I might find some dirt on this supposed retired champion. YouTube, which surprisingly came up completely empty. I thought there might have been more people trying to figure out who this woman was, but everyone's just like, oh, a lady with all three starter Pokemon. Seems legit. So I had to take my searches elsewhere. I started at Cerebi to try my luck there, but there wasn't even any information on breeders, so I had to make my way to Bulbapedia to see if I could find any answers. Not much there. All I could find were descriptions for Pokemon breeders for the games and anime. The game reads, a Pokemon breeder is primarily a Pokemon trainer who raises and mates carefully selected Pokemon to reproduce specific improvements in future generation of Pokemon, such as moves, individual values, or natures. End quote. But something caught my eye about the anime description. Quote, breeders catch, care for, and raise starter Pokemon at secret breeding grounds as part of the Pokemon League system to distribute them to new trainers, as noted in a Mudkip mission. End quote. So in the anime, they have professional Pokemon breeders that breed the rare starter Pokemon somewhere in secret to prep them for the new challengers to be. I found this quite interesting and felt it could fuel my research, so I jumped down this rabbit hole, only to come up short again. If Chloe were a breeder for the Pokemon League, I assumed she wouldn't be able to leave the secret daycare with such rare Pokemon. And yet, again, I decided to backtrack and take another direction on my theory. That's when I decided to go back to the game and straight to the source. Chloe. And that, ladies and gents, is how I found my answers. One of, if not the first thing Chloe says to you when you meet her in the wild area, is that no one is willing to battle with her, and if you dare to take her on yourself. Most people didn't take any notice of this line, but this line, those few words that drip the potency that I needed to make my theory whole. Why would no one dare take her on? Why does no one want to battle her? It's because she's the ex-champ. And the Galar people know who she is, and they know she's the best. She knows she's the best. She and the people of Galar know she's only been bested by one person, one man, our newest champion, Leon. This is also backed by what she says after you defeat her in battle. Who is she talking about? Herself? No. Your rival? Possibly. But I have a better answer. Leon. After losing the match to Leon all those years ago, she claimed she'd be back for her champion seat. So, bent on taking her title back, she entered herself into the following year's Pokemon Championship, accepted her Scorbunny as an entrance Pokemon, battled her way through the championship, only to be bested once again by her ultimate rival. She trained hard and entered again, the next year accepting Grookey, thinking he might be a better fit to defeat Leon. With Grookey and her faithful Pokemon at her side, she managed to make it to Leon once more, but was yet again bested by him and his Charizard. Chloe's third attempt would be her last as she accepted her Sobble. She felt discouraged, but her team of Pokemon gave her the strength to make it to the finals once more. This battle between Chloe and her rival Leon would be one for the history books. It was a fierce battle. Pokemon from each team fainted left and right. Then it all came down to a one-on-one. Chloe versus Leon, Inteleon versus Charizard. Max Geysers and G-Max Wildfire sent the battlefield into mayhem. Fire and water, two immense forces erupting against one another, all for the title of champion. Dynamax and Gigantamax over, the dust settled, and only Charizard was left standing. Beaten and saddened, Chloe slumped to the battlefield floor. Leon crossed the field and extended his hand to her with a grin and said, "Man, that was one champion battle." She just looked at him, confused. "I'll beat you one day," she told him as they both began to chuckle. It was on that day she vowed she would become a specialty starter Pokemon breeder, and that she would breed the best of the best Pokemon so she would be able to face Leon once again. Every day since then, she has been almost obsessively breeding Pokemon and battling every trainer she can sink her teeth into. Her battle-hardened skills as a past champion have made battling come easy to her. She takes down any opponent who comes her way. This is the reason why no one wants to battle her, why she finds herself roaming about the wild area, waiting for the day when she can make her comeback. But, like I said before, this is all just a theory. I know this turned more into a mild fan fiction, but I do believe there is more to this Chloe than meets the eye, and maybe we'll receive more information on her when the DLCs arrive. But those are my thoughts on her for now. What are your thoughts on this theory? Do you have your own theory about Chloe? Let me hear about it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this, and I will see you guys in the next one.